Newcastle United's closest away game in the Premier League this season is Manchester City, which is actually the longest close away game in the history of this league. But how long would it actually take for a Newcastle fan to walk to the Etihad Stadium? That's what we're going to find out today. Join me as I take on the 148-mile route from St James's Park to the Etihad Stadium.
We just arrived here at St James's Park. Look at the state of me. We haven't even took a single step yet, and we are already in an absolute state from this horrible weather in the UK, which I don't expect to lighten up during this trip. The way the challenge works is nice and simple. It will begin, the Strava counter on my phone will begin when we touch the statue of Sir Bobby Robson just behind me. We're going to do it at 2 p.m. on the Monday. Just bear that in mind. And the timer will end when we touch the statue of David Silva over at the Etihad Stadium. I've got a few tactics, got a few techniques I'm going to try in this video. I've got plenty of questions I need to answer in this video as well. I know you guys have got lots of questions. Why am I doing this? What's the point of doing this? We'll get through it all. I'm aware this is going to be a long video, so bear with me. But answer all the questions either along the walk or towards the end of the walk. But we will get it all done for you. But for now, I just want to kind of let you all know how it's going to work. It's going to start on the dot 2 p.m. And the first 24 hours, we are going to absolutely go for it. We're just going to put everything into it. There's 4-4-4, everything at the kitchen sink, and we're going to see what happens and what goes wrong. Time has now hit 2 p.m. and we are officially off. 148 miles. Let's get going. We'll tell you about the route in just a moment, but we are officially on our way now to Manchester. As we head across the bridge into Gateshead, there are two parts about this challenge that is hard. Brutal, I would say. And the first one, you've already seen the weather. It's been nasty all day. I don't think it's going to get any nicer. I'm already cold. I've been walking for like 20 minutes. That is going to be hard. And despite the fact that it's nowhere near as cold as back in January, it's still not nice, to be honest. The second thing, as for any walk or any long endurance exercise you do, of course, endurance is the big part. How will my body be able to cope after walking for a good amount of miles? How can my body cope on potential repeated days? So let's say we go to bed, wake up the next morning, we have to then do the exact same distance again. How can the body do? So they're the two real hard parts, endurance and, of course, just the horrific weather in the UK. First real piece of incline we're going to see, and it's just going up the road from Gateshead. In terms of the Strava app, the incline spikes up a lot around the halfway point, and the worst of it is right at the end before we get to Manchester. So those two particular parts, they're going to be real potential game enders if we don't go into it with a lot of energy, a lot of confidence. This is our first problem of the walk, so basically we need to be down there into Berkeley, but all the footways into Berkeley in this direction's off. Doesn't seem to be too much of an issue though. Should be able to cut down here and turn right and just get back on track, but we were meant to go down that road. The reason why I mention that now is just in case later on in the walk we have a bigger diversion where the walk we need to do, let's just say it's completely off and we're screwed. So that's our first warning call. We could suffer much worse than this later on in the walk, but I'm assuming we can just cut on the right here and get back on track.
Personal level for me, and you guys will like this as well, but just down there is the home of Birtley Football Club. Now, for me, I guess in my playing days, I've only ever played in one cup final. I was captain that day, and my team won 5-2 at that stadium. So I do actually, truthfully, hands are up here, I do have a 100% cup final record. So hopefully, that's going to give us a good omen perhaps going into the Carabao Cup final this season. But we are now 2 hours into the route, just about to come out of Birtley, not too much longer to Birtley now. Gonna start heading across over to Macamlan. I don't know why the Strava apps want me to go towards Peterlee and go and past Middlesbrough, but listen, I'm gonna trust Strava, we're gonna do it. But yeah, over the next few hours we'll be deep in enemy territory, so I do actually need to keep my eyes open, to be honest. After walking for over 2.5 hours now, for the first time in this trip, we finally changed directions. We're not going straight anymore, we're going to go left and we're going to cut down towards Peterlee. We are now 3 hours into the walk, just currently walking in the middle of nowhere. So we're just past Durham Cricket Stadium before, and we're just basically walking up the long road now, heading kind of near Peterlee. So we're going to basically cut around there, down just past Middlesbrough, and we're basically going to loop around to Leeds. So when I was doing the Strava for this, the only thing I wanted to make sure is that we go through Leeds. I think that was a very important part of my stage, because I wanted to, as much as the walk as possible, to be within distance to hotels, distance to eat places, distance just to civilization, just to make sure if anything was to happen, we'll always be within distance to somewhere, basically. Finally, you're going to turn on the right here. That was like an hour of just a really boring road. It was just in the middle of nowhere, farmlands, not that exciting. There are a couple of food places around here, so I might stop and get something to eat now, just make sure we are fully walking, ready to get going, just get a few calories down maybe. But so far, I've been pleased. My legs are fine, I feel fine. I tell you what, I bought this woolly hat in my head for like 20 quid. It's like the best 20 quid I spent. It's honestly so warm with this on, so I'm feeling great. Let's get something to eat now. Pit stop, just going to get ourselves a couple of packets of Matthew's turkey chunks. The most boring food in the world, but if you're going to be doing something like this, get used to eating stuff like that, because it's going to help me out. I just need to wake up a little bit. But yeah, there's not many supplies here, to be honest. I can't lie. That's all a Worcester's burger, which is the absolute biggest no going. This has to be the most outrageous street name I've ever seen. Black Boy Road. How is the street called Black Boy Road? That is actually outrageous. But yeah, sorry, I got a bit distracted there. We are now 4 hours into the journey. We are basically in Houghton Spring. Obviously, massive road near all of these office buildings, if anyone knows where that is. Still need to find a bin to put the bloody turkey chunks away. But it's not going too bad so far, to be fair. Now, to give you a good idea, actually, someone's made a valid point. The more you spend time on public paths, the more it just destroys your feet. Any hard surface, my feet, I can kind of start to feel it now. And we're not even, like, probably about maybe getting around 10% in, so we're still kind of nowhere near. But yeah, definitely starting to feel a bit below my foot. Here we are, Easington Lane. Fingers crossed I don't get any water bottles thrown off while I'm in Easington, but yeah, I wasn't expecting to be here on this route actually. I'm not quite sure where it was geographically on the map.
I've legit been walking for like 5 hours and there's still buses going back to Newcastle from where I am now. It's just, yeah, you don't realise how far you have to go until you actually physically walk it. We've done a lot, but we still haven't done barely anything yet. Oh, we've got a home draw. Nice, come on. Give us a good one. I want to see Plymouth. I want to see Wolves. Who's that? Brighton. Oh, no, not Brighton. You know what? You know what? Listen, well, what the hell's going on down there? But yeah, you know what? It could have been Brighton away. I would definitely much rather have Brighton at home. And in a round of 16, the FA Cup, Brighton, Newcastle got to back themselves. You know what? I think that's a decent tie. Not great. I'm not going to pretend it's an amazing tie, but it's at home. You've got to back the boys at home, so I'm confident. But yeah, I need to get back on route to Manchester. This is where the routes start to get hard. We're now entering the dark, so we'll have to get the second phone out, get the torch on, and we're going to plough on through this and head toward the Middlesbrough. This is definitely the most mental route Strava's took me. I can barely even see anything, but there's a decent amount of ground from what I can see beneath us. Yeah, it's got to go straight through, yeah, but not be many people around here this time of night, so it'll be nice and easy. I'm supposed to be going straight on ahead through that tunnel, but it's heading towards 9 p.m. now, and I need to basically get something to eat, because once we get something to eat from here, it is just all wilderness like that. There's going to be nothing to eat for like the next, you're talking 7 to 8 hours. This is some incline, by the way, getting up here. But yeah, we're about 20 miles in now. Legs are still feeling fine. Mental part is we're only 20 miles and we've been going at it all day, so yeah, it is a lot further when you actually do it yourself. But we're going to get something to eat now, and then we're going to get ourselves back on track. Uh-oh, that's not looking good. I was actually going to go and get the Chinese now. I know that's not the healthiest thing to eat while I run, but to be honest, it's probably the healthiest thing here. All I've seen is fast food restaurants and the Chinese, and it's not even open. It said it's open on Google and it's not open, so I've just wasted like 5 to 10 minutes of my time there. So it looks like probably the corner shop. We're going to have to find some more stuff again from the corner shop. So yeah, it's not looking too great at the minute, I can't lie. Time is now 8:30, and to be fair, you know what, that crop looks good, so we're going to go on that crop now. This is our last chance to get any food until the next morning, so we've got to go in here and we've got to pick some things that we want, have something decent to eat now, and then we get something for the morning as well. Let's take a moment to appreciate and to enjoy civilization, because once we are down there, we're not going to see it again for a good few hours. So had something to eat there. Quite a boring meal deal. You're talking ham and cheese wrap, chicken satire, sticks, and a bottle of water. So yeah, we're heading into town. Made our first potential big mistake before. So basically there's a big puddle in front of us, had to try and manoeuvre around it, and I somehow kind of sunk my right foot down. But the area where it was before was kind of like a big puddle, so basically my right foot's just freezing now, so that's not ideal. It's not too bad though, at least it's not both feet, so we're going to be good. It's just a little bit of a little worry there, I guess. I need to get up this hill. Got one over here. Nice and easy, nice and easy. Nice and easy. Yeah, I need to be up here, otherwise the diversion's gone. So yeah, basically that cuts on the left. We need to go straight up. So I did actually have to climb that bit of mud there. Bit of a muddy hand, but you know what? That's not too bad. We'll take that. Oh, it's like a pony. Hello. I feel so bad. I haven't got any food for him. Hi. Hi. Hello. Can I pet you? No, this is okay. Look, it's okay. Hello. Look. Yeah, I'm a bit scared because I think, especially if that is a pony, I think it's too big to be a pony, doing it. That's definitely one there. These are little biters, so I'm a bit worried to touch him, but wow, that's a nice animal. Yeah, I need to get back on with this walk. I haven't got any carrots or any food, so sorry, mate. This is without a doubt the hardest part mentally so far, just walking on straight. It's so hard to see where I'm going because of that bright light, but basically it's just been like this for 2 hours straight now, just non-stop walking down one path, nobody around me, just no civilization, no nothing. And this is the hardest part mentally and physically because you've got all sorts of questions that go on through your head. Do I stop at the nearest hotel? When do I call it a day? Am I just going to give up? And you've got all sorts of questions that go on in your head, but you just got to stick with it. Listen, things are going well. It's not raining, for example. You know, my legs are still fine for now. I can keep going. I'm feeling good. Let's just stick with it. But yeah, absolutely brutal mentally. It's really taking a toll. I mean, this challenge is mental. That's over there, by the way, all them lights, that's Hartlepool. That's only Hartlepool, and we've been on this for now officially 9 hours. It's just hit 11 p.m. Gotta keep going. The time is now 12 at night. We have been going for 10 hours straight. Now, I'm not even joking. We've just been going through a forest for about 4 hours now. And there's still, just look, there's still so long to go before we even get to Stockton and Middlesbrough. I can't lie. I really can't lie. I'm struggling here. I am as Courtney 1 in the morning. Don't even know whose house this is, so apologies if this is yours, but I've been well and truly humbled today. 13 hours, not even joking, more than half of that route has just been through just that same line in the forest. Just keep going for that same path, and it's just, honestly, mentally, it's horrific. You're by yourself, there's no one around you, you can't say anything, it's just, you got so many thoughts going through your head, and my legs, I just gave up. My legs have gave up, I'm stranded, I'm about 6 miles off from Stockton. I haven't got a choice, I've got to order a taxi, so instantly the challenge is failed. I mean, I wasn't exactly doing it for anything anyway, I was just doing it for the sake of it, so we'll talk a bit more about it shortly. Obviously, I apologise for letting you down if any of you felt like you really were expecting me to go and do it. I've got to be honest, that's the most I've ever done in terms of walking, and you can tell. Made a lot of mistakes today. We'll talk a bit more about it in the taxi, but it's... Just checked in at the Holiday Inn over here in Middlesbrough. Bit of desperate, ringing all these hotels up last minute just to get one sorted. Thankfully we've got a room here. I'm down £125 from the room, but you know what, I would much rather pay £125 for a night here in Middlesbrough than, of course, potentially being in some danger in the middle of nowhere in the forest. So we'll head up to the room now. Yeah, I'm fuming with myself, to be honest, but we'll head up to the room now and we just got to deal with it. This is the moment of truth. Just how do my feet look
I haven't actually seen him yet. I swear down to this will be a live reaction on the video. You can just see how muddy we are. Made a big mistake about 8 hours in where I accidentally kind of stepped. Oh, that's ripped as well. So yeah, 2 big mistakes even. But yeah, about 8 hours in, I basically stepped into a bit of mud, and obviously right foot's then a bit damp. So worst thing you can probably do on a walk like that, where your foot gets a bit wet, then you're just completely out of it. So moment of truth, let's just see how the feet are looking. So I mean, to be honest, not actually too bad. A bit of peeled skin there as expected, but then again, you're always going to have that doing that sort of distance. On the front, a bit rough though. Don't know what's going on between my first and second digit there, but that doesn't look too nice actually, so I need to keep an eye on that, because yeah, I'm a bit concerned with the fact it's bruised on both sides. But we'll check the right foot. This is my scenario. Sorry for my absolutely dirty toenails. I know that's what happens when you go for 10 hours. Back's a bit scabby. Yeah, to be honest, not actually too bad. A bit of a mess in some areas, but nothing we can't deal with. They hurt a lot though, can't lie, they hurt a lot. Time to show off a little bit though. Let's see how the legs look when we tense them after that. Yeah, you can just kind of see that they've been worked hard today. So again, I give them all. Sometimes you just got to accept that it doesn't go your way. Fully aware you guys got plenty of questions, so I do owe you all the respect and the gratitude to at least answer your questions. The first obvious one being, what was the point of that? Why did I attempt to do it? What am I personally getting out of it? Now, I'm going to be straight up, I'm going to be honest. I did at some point want to do somewhat of a charity walk, so it'll eventually be the case where I would have went onto something, advertised it on social media, and then I would have done it for a purpose. But to be straight up, I've never done anything like that before, so it was a real opportunity today. I was purposely looking to make some mistakes. I was trying to do the route, I must state the obvious, I was trying to do the full route. But I was wanting to make mistakes, I was wanting to be able to kind of go away from this experience and to be able to learn from it. Got humbled a lot, it just didn't go well at all. The reality was, I was still in the middle of nowhere. I got cold, legs went, everything kind of went wrong at the wrong time. I wasn't anywhere feasible enough to be able to legitimately go to a hotel room, while of course not breaking the rules of ordering any transport, but I was just in the middle of nowhere. About 5 to 6 hours of just going through that forest. Mentally, it destroyed me mentally. It was horrific. Like, you're by yourself in the middle of nowhere, and it's fine because it's a nice chill walk. But it just dragged on and on and on. You're talking 6 hours. Like, that's just horrific. It was nasty. I actually did quite like the Strava route though. Like the route that it took me on during the day, for example, I'd have been really scenic. I think it's actually a good running route, and I think for the most part, it was real safe. Now, one of the biggest problems I could have personally made was, let's say I'm going across the roads, for example, when I'm tired or when I'm a bit out of it. Of course, it's quite easy to stumble onto the road. It's quite easy just to perhaps react a little too slow and then to end up in front of a car. But that route was quite safe. It was a real safe route. You just went through it. The only bad part is you were just in the middle of nowhere, but you know, you could spend time with yourself. Even when you're tired, you could just all you had to do was walk in a straight line, so there was no real risks involved. It was quite a nice route. To be fair, when you look at the Strava time now, it's said that I've done over 43 miles now. I still don't believe that's fully correct. We definitely weren't 43 miles into the route. I still feel like, for example, if I went for something to eat in the middle of nowhere, obviously I went off the route, so I might be doing extra distance, but the problem being is that I'm doing extra distance, but we aren't progressing further on the route. I still felt like we're about a fifth of the way in, and when you've been going for 10 hours straight, fifth of the way in, you're just thinking, yeah, we've got so much more to do, it's just not going to happen. Good morning everyone, hope things are well. We are here in Middlesbrough now. Doesn't matter what we say, doesn't matter what we do next, we can't deny that I have cheated on the walk yesterday. I booked a taxi on a walk. The second you even put yourself into a taxi on a walk, it is already over. And it doesn't matter what we do next, we can't deny the fact that we have not done a legitimate walk. Done alright, still haven't made a real dent though. I was wanting to do a lot more than I was able to do in that one period before we did end up staying at the hotel. We're just not really close enough. We're in Middlesbrough now, made some decent distance, but yeah, just nowhere near Manchester. So we're going to walk away from it now. Obviously, I'm a bit disappointed in myself, but you know what? Sometimes you just got to put your hand up and just accept that you've been well and truly humbled. Again, I've mentioned that a few times, but there was a couple of, I guess, real big problems that I wanted to kind of talk to you guys about just before we finish things off, and what you should be doing to, of course, if you're ever going to do anything like this in your lifetime. I wanted to kind of just tell you a few little tips on what you should be doing. You should definitely probably be doing it with someone. I felt like in the forest, you're by yourself. Again, it was just, honestly, it was mental torture. It was just horrific. So if you're with someone, you're always communicating with someone, you're always engaging with someone, your mind's always active, you can always speak to someone. And yeah, that was just horrible. It was a bit brutal. You should be booking hotels in advance. I didn't do that. So, for example, I didn't really plan it through. So my legs went in the middle of a forest, still 6 miles away from anything. My legs had just completely had enough. So at that point, I'm basically stranded. So I had to order a taxi no matter what. So I kind of just went into it and just went, screw it, let's just go for it. And again, I said it yet last night, but I was purposely wanting to make mistakes in this. Again, this wasn't the real walk I wanted to do. I wanted to do bigger things. I wanted to do stuff potentially for charity, but it was more of a case where I've never done anything like this before, so it was kind of just going out there and making these mistakes. So I just know myself the things that we do need to be 100% locked in for. But you know what, it wasn't too bad. Yeah, it still didn't really make much of a distance towards Manchester. We barely made it to Middlesbrough. We still needed a taxi for a few miles coming into Middlesbrough, but you know what, train's £3 to go back home. I'm just going to buy it and we're just going to call it a fail. We didn't get there, didn't even get close, so we failed this challenge. Yeah, now I do want to say one more thing. Again, I did promise you all that we were going to do this challenge to Manchester. We were going to walk from St James Park to the Etihad Stadium. Bit of a cop-out ending, but I never said it had to be this season. There was nothing stopping me from coming back next year and doing it again. Again, Manchester City, Manchester United, 2 teams in Manchester. Not to mention, potentially, we could have Leeds in the Premier League next season. We could have Sheffield United in the Premier League next season. Closer away games, you know, they're still doable. We can still do them. So, yeah, a few chances next season. We're going to legitimately do one of them. I don't know when. It depends on what time of the year it is. I don't want to do this in January, for example. So, start the season, end of the season. We've got any nice fixtures like that, we'll do it. We will do it. So, it's just a case now. We're going to walk away. We've lost, but we're going to come back stronger. And hopefully that'll be the final message to walk away from this video. But let me know what you think about it anyway. Did you enjoy it? Did you enjoy me doing this route? It's a little bit of an interesting challenge. Yeah, just didn't happen, did it? But heading home now with my head somewhat out.